Bruce Trump was convicted on 34 felony counts. If he gets jail time, how will this affect his run for the presidency?
He still remains eligible for the presidency. In 1920, Eugene Debs was sitting in prison and he ran for the presidency. He won over 1 million votes. He was convicted, I believe, on wrongful Espionage Act charges, but he still could stay on the ballot, notwithstanding the conviction. He may be able to, and is already tempted to use the conviction to raise money, calling this a witch hunt. And, the usual story. We already know what Trump is going to say before he says it, because he just has got a soundtrack. It's always trumped up. It's always rigged. He always knows everything, and everybody's out to get him, including Mr. Biden, who's got a gun ready to shoot him in the head. So those are par for the course. Now, I do think, however, that Mr. Trump will lose at least an edge of 3 to 5% from those who aren't in his solid base, who do not appreciate the perspective of Mr. Trump being president and sitting in prison, which he may well be if the sentencing proceeds as I expect. And therefore, it could tip the battleground states away from Trump and in Biden's favor. But I want to make reservations here. You remember, a presidential race is not one person running against himself. It's against Mr. Biden. And I believe Mr. Biden is making horrible mistakes, legal ones, wrongful, in Gaza, in providing weapons that are used to kill kids, involved in genocide, crimes against humanity. And he's losing votes as well. He's very, very weak. And therefore, when you have two weak candidates, you don't know what the outcome is going to be. And the uncertainty is whether, if Robert Kennedy Jr. makes the ballot in several states, he could ultimately throw the election into the House of Representatives, which would then vote state by state for either Mr. Biden or Mr. Trump, or maybe even a third party candidate. They're not constrained by who's on the ballot when they're voting state by state. So a lot of contingencies.
Hey, Bruce, do you think, this conviction might change, or swing voters either way? Some say maybe we cannot support Trump anymore after this, or some decide, well, we're going to support Biden. What do you think will happen here?
No, I think there will be a margin. I think we're speculating about the number, and I'm putting the number at maybe like 3 to 5% who will abandon Mr. Trump. They're not already in his solid base, who would, in fact, believe if he said the geocentric theory of the universe was correct and the heliocentric was wrong, they'd believe the geocentric theory of the Earth being the center of the universe is true. They're not going to abandon him no matter what. But not all of his supporters are in that camp. And I think he'll lose 3 to 5%. Now, that may make the difference in battleground states, which are already very narrow. But this is political stargazing. We don't know for certain.
Bruce, Trump supporters are calling for riots. In fact, some of them have also called for the execution of the judge, attack on jurors as well. And there's a lot more posted on social media everywhere. Is America's judicial system under attack?
I don't think the answer is yes, in the sense that these words amount to criminal assault. That is, they're intended to put people into fear of their physical health and safety by threatening violence, without a doubt. Those are crimes, and I think these people will be prosecuted. I'm in Washington, D.C. You are as well. I saw New York after the verdict. There aren't all these protests and riots out there. My own view is that the United States is still sufficiently attached to the rule of law that these people who are summoning riots will end up in jail, like the January 6th mob is. Over 700 now, convictions and serving jail time, some as many as 18 years in prison. And we'll move on, and the rule of law will prevail. But I want to underscore that what they are saying amounts to criminal assault. That's illegal. You don't do that in the United States. You have legal recourse and redress, but not violence.